Plans are at an advanced stage for the country's hosting of the G20 Heads of State Summit, and various working groups are putting final touches to their approach to the summit in November. One of them is the agricultural sector that has held various strategic meetings, with the latest at the University of Pretoria, looking at food loss and waste prevention in sub-Saharan Africa. The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, the CSIR's Professor Suzanne Olofse, shared alarming data on the state of food waste in South Africa.
Our research revealed that approximately 10.3 million tons of edible food annually does not reach the human stomach. That is an astounding 34% of all food produced in South Africa. And if you take into consideration that we export quite a bit of the food that we produce, it comes down to 45% of the food available for consumption in South Africa. And I think that should really have us sit up straight, realizing how inefficient our food systems are.
Food waste is a global issue that leads to an economic cost and environmental harm, with cautions around the impact of agricultural emissions on the planet. New Zealand's ambassador to South Africa, Philip Hewitt, says climate change is challenging nations to rethink their agriculture sustainability strategies.
Globally, the FAO estimates about 1/3 of all food produced, around 1.3 billion tonnes, is lost or wasted each year, contributing up to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Reducing food loss and waste is essential if we are to feed a growing global population, support livelihoods across the agri-food sector, and meet our climate and environmental sustainability commitments.
This session saw the sharing of ideas on the issue in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The Department of Agriculture's DDG Kwena Komape says most concerning is how the most vulnerable in the society are negatively affected, looking at the country's G20 bringing change in the lives of South Africans.
You're talking about minimizing the wastage, the spoilage of food, preservation of food, and it's about time that we also own our own production methodologies, even the seeds. It's important that we take control of that. Yes, indeed, when it comes to the economies and I talked about the development of rural areas and the jobs. So that food that ends up in the landfills, it's the food that's supposed to have gone through the agricultural value chain.
With technology fast advancing, the Agriculture Research Council's Dr. Lindam Twisha spoke on the interface between data, science and innovation.
Strengthen the science, policy and society interface, calling for the researchers, government and industry to fund innovation, to share data, and to shape policies that produce responsible production and consumption of food.
The gathering also saw an update on South Africa's adoption of a G20 Food Security Task Force declaration that the sector has been working on. The delegates in agreement that the G20 summit in the coming month must be clear on, amongst others, the combating of food price volatility and waste, supporting of vulnerable communities for food security, and the leveraging of technology in the reduction of agriculture emissions going into the future. Katla Gologodi, SABC News in Pretoria.